Well, hey everybody, Backyard Scrapping here, and welcome to part 9. I am hoping to finish up today. We've got a nice bright sunshiny morning, but it is cold. It's cold. What I'm doing right now is I'm going to get ready to start rinsing this stuff. I've got some water going in the pot to heat up and boil. We're going to rinse and melt this stuff. I'm grinding out my dish right now, which I saved the powder from and put it in a little jar because there is precious metal in it. But so that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go ahead and get this dish finished ground out, and then we're going to go ahead and put some more borax in it and glaze it, and then we're going to start rinsing our metals up there and go to melting and see what we ended up with. Do our refine, our re for Clinton, and then get our final tally, see where we're at. So we'll be back at you when we are going to start rinsing and getting ready to melt. See you in a bit. Okay guys, I just wanted to show you that this is our gold. I'm getting ready to start rinsing it. This is the gold from the caps from our test chips. As you can see, there is not a whole lot in there. But anyway, we're going to rinse that with boiling water. We're going to get it in a dish and get it melted. Get that little bead. Then we'll do the gold we got from the chips themselves. After we get that done, we can actually go ahead and melt the two together. Refine it, or refine it again, however you choose to say it. And get a total weight on our test. So I'm going to work on that first, and then I'll do our other stuff after that. But I just wanted to show you, we got a lot more off of the ceramics than we did off the backs. And I think, personally, if they were mine, I think I would just keep the backs separately until I got a lot of them. I mean, a lot, you know. And then I think I would actually do a dissolve to get the foils off of them, so that we were not having to mess with all the metal, because that's really, for all those, whatever there was, I don't even know, I should have counted them, but I didn't. That's really not a whole lot of gold to mess with for a dirty drop. So, but anyway, I just wanted to show you. I'll show you the other when we get to it. In fact, I can actually get it down right now and show you. This has been rinsed once, but this is our gold from the chips. So you can see there was quite a bit more, and it's quite a bit denser. So, and it's cold out here, so there's a little bit of probably lead chloride on there, or silver chloride, that's going to come off anyway. Alrighty, I'll get back at you in a bit. I'm going to finish cleaning the rest of this stuff up, and then we're going to do some melting. Okay guys, this is the gold from our processor backs, you know, from the big lot of processors. So I'm going to go ahead and melt that. There's just going to be a little tiny button or bead, because we actually only had, you know, a few of those backs. So we're going to go ahead and get that melded up, see what we got out of that. And again, I'm going slow till it gets good and hot, because I don't want to bubble the gold out. So I will get back at you when we get this melted. Okay guys, we got our little button, or bead, I guess you would call it. I'm going to drop this in the pickle pot, but that is our little bead from our processor backs. From our, you know, the main processor refine. So that will get added to our other button. to our big button, and then we can see what we got out of the processors. As soon as that cools off, well, in fact, I'm going to glaze this dish, and then we can do our BGA chips. So we'll be back at you in just a sec. Okay, guys, I got our little button out of the pickle pot. Let me see what we got off the backs. Just a guesstimation. And just about a little less than 1/3 of a gram off of the backs. And I think there was 6, 7, 8 of them, something like that. I mean, you can go back to the unboxing and we can see exactly how many there were, but it was right in that range. Not a lot, you know, not a whole bunch of them, but still, that's a nice little, hey, that's right there as much as or almost as much as a Pentium Pro would yield. So that's good. So I'm going to go ahead and put these two in the dish. We're going to go ahead and get them melted together, and then that will be our processor button. So once again, I'm going to try not to talk while the torch is on because it's hard to hear me. But we're going to go ahead and do that, and we'll do a total weight for that. Alrighty, guys, there is our final button for the, or not final button, but I mean our first refine final for the processors. So I'm going to drop it in the pickle pot, get this little bit of borax off the back of it. We'll toss it on the scale out here and see what our total is. So I will get back at you in just a bit. Our other little dish is almost cool enough to add some powder to, so we'll continue melting. I'll be back at you in just a sec. Okay, guys, we are ready to do our BGA gold. I showed that's out of the pickle pot. That is our everything from our processors. So we are ready to refine that piece again. Let me get our BGAs melted. Then we're going to do our test gold. We're going to get some initial weights, and then we are going to refine all this stuff again. So once again, I'm just going to lightly heat this till it's dry, and then I will get it melted up. Got a little problem with wind today. Okay, guys, there's our BGAs. I'll go ahead and get that dropped in the pickle pot, but there it is. Got most of that borax off just then, but we'll drop her in there anyway. Looks like maybe about 1/3 of a gram, maybe a little less. But we're going to go ahead and drop that in. When that one cools off, we'll start doing our test gold. Okay, guys, we are actually going to start doing our test gold now. This is from the little tops, or caps, the little metal caps. So once again, we're going to do the same procedure. And let's see what we got out of these tops. Alrighty, there is our little tiny bead from our caps, which this was a very small amount of gold, considering. So I will go ahead and put that in the pickle pot real quick, just to get that little bit of crud off of it. And when that dish, in fact, I've glazed another dish, and that other gold looks pretty good, so I'm just going to go ahead and get it melted now, and then we can see what our test worked out at. So I will get back at you in just a sec. Okay guys, we have our gold powder in the dish from our test, from the ceramic part of our test chips. We're going to go ahead and go through our same procedure again. And then we're going to see what we got out of these. Okay, and that is our little bead of gold from our ceramics from our test. So we will throw that in the pickle pot. Then what we're going to do is, I just want to weigh them separately out of curiosity, the tops from the bottoms. And then we're going to melt these two together and get a total so far, and then we're going to start our re-refine. Okay guys, we are inside. Actually, I lost the sun out there. It's gone down behind the trees, and I am not ashamed to admit that I'm old and I'm cold. So we're just going to do this, re-refine all this material, or do our second refine tomorrow when we have sunshine in the lab. But this is what where we're at and what I want to show you. We can see that was our test gold. That's from the ceramic chips. This was all of our gold, our rinse, our backs, and our ceramics. All of that is right here. You can see that all these littler beads are a little bit purer than this one. This was because we had a huge dirty drop. So even though these were dirty drops, they were smaller and they ended up cleaner. But anyway, so this is our gold. Right here, the big boy is our gold from our processors. All of it. Everything, our rinse and everything. This is our gold from our BGA chips, which naturally is going to be nearly pure because it's pretty much only bond wires. This is our gold from our test, which I kept separate just out of curiosity for me. This is the chips themselves, and then this was the caps, the little metal caps. So right quick, let's see what we've got going on before we go into the second refine. Our BGAs, we're going to go BGAs. Get off of this desk because it makes a difference when you're weighing. Let me put some dead weight on here. And zero that out. So our BGAs, we got just over a half a gram. We got 0.53 grams. Okay, but now remember, this all has to be redone. So that's our BGAs. This is our processors. With our backs and everything. That is showing 8.38 grams. That's our processors. Then this is our test ceramics. That is showing 0.111 or 1.111, 1.11, and the test chip caps. Like I said, I'm doing this separately just because I wanted to see the difference. Personally, if I was going to do these, I would do the ceramics and I would save the caps up. I would bust them up and I would save the caps up and do them like I would do pins. And that is 0.28. So 0.28. So we'll weigh them together because there may be a variant. And I'm showing 1.41 total, 1.41, and let's see if that adds. That's 9, 3, 1.39 if you add it up. So sometimes, when you're weighing things separately, you get a little bit of a different weight. So anyway, I like to do that just to show there was 2 100ths or 1,000ths of a gram difference. Anyway, this is what we have so far. So we have a grand total of, and like I said, these are purer, much purer than this. I don't know if you can see it in the camera against the paper or the background. I'll put one of these up right here close. But this is definitely greener looking than these. They're a golden yellow. So anyhow, so between our BGA chips, 0.53, and our processors, we ended up with 8.38. We ended up with almost 9 grams. So we've got 8.91. We're going to lose 10-15% of that probably in the re-refine or the second refine, because I know there's a lot of crap in that big button. And then we've got 1.49 or 1.41 here, so we're going to call it 139 plus 1.39 equals, so total right now is at 10.3 grams even. So tomorrow when it warms up, I'll get back out there, do this second refine, and I'll probably melt these two together and just do them as one piece. But anyway, do the second refine. The same with this. I may just melt that in there and do it as one piece. I am going to do these two separately again because I want to see what my totals are, afterwards. So this was our regular stuff. This is our test. And we'll get back outside and get this finished up and get this refine finished up and get this gold sent home. So we'll see you all in the morning. Hey guys, I'm just back, popping in one more second. I just wanted to show you. I took the camera off the, off the tripod so I could get down here closer so you could see this gold. But you see the difference in the color here and here. This is a lot. I mean, this looks really, really fantastic till you put it up next to that or this. This is a lot greener. So we do know that there is a lot of contamination in there. But I just wanted to show you that so you could see it better, because obviously, from 2 feet away, it's a lot harder to see. Alrighty, guys, we'll get back at you in the morning. So I will see you out there then. Okay guys, it is not the next day, but it is the day after. Naturally, I got hung up doing something. But I just want to show you, we have our, I didn't bother to melt them back together. It doesn't matter. We're going to be dissolving them anyway. I don't know if the camera's showing it, but with this sun hitting it, you can really see a difference in the color between the littler buttons and the bigger one, showing the more contamination. But this was our weights, still weight in a still room on the scale. So our test gold came at 1.38 for both pieces. Our job gold is 8.81 for both pieces. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and, you guys have seen me do this before, but I'm going to go ahead and just dissolve this, redissolve it to re-refine it, re for Clinton, and then I'll get back to you when we have it rinsed, cleaned, and ready to melt back into buttons again. So we will see you then. Well, hey everybody, a couple days has passed and it's been really cold. This was our little test gold. It has dissolved, but I am having a problem with that large button. The littler button dissolved. This is very slow to react. I have to get the temperature just right to get any kind of reaction off of it at all, which means we may have had a little bit of too much base metal in that, trying to redissolve it, in aqua regia. I am hoping that it's not locking out on me. If it does, I will just have to take what's left and in-quart it with some copper or some silver and do it that way. Keeping it right at this temperature that I'm at right now seems to be generating a pretty good reaction. I'm hoping it's not just heat coming off of the button, because since it got down to the size it is now, I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference in the size. So I'm going to spend a little more time with it today. I've only been able to do it last couple days, an hour or two when I could be out here with it. And that's what I can tell you. Another little hiccup, but hopefully I've got this temperature right now, and we are getting a reaction directly off of the button, so I'm hoping that this will do it. I had to add a little more HCl because I probably added way too much nitric trying to dissolve this. So I'm going to just let it continue on. I knew I said I wasn't going to come in until we were getting to the melt part, but I just wanted to show you that there's always some kind of a hiccup, or there can be some kind of a hiccup, something you're not ready to have happen. And this should have been just a 1, 2, 3 thing. It should have been a dissolve, done, drop, remelt, and party's over. But apparently it's going to continue to be a little bit of a thorn. So like I said, when I get this thing dissolved one way or the other, if I have to in-quart it, I will show you guys how that's done. I have done it before in videos if you want to go back and look for them. Most of the time you do this with jewelry scrap, or really 14 karat, 10 karat. You have to do it with stuff like that because it'll actually lock out the base metals, or the silver will lock and seal out the aqua regia. So then what you have to do is, and you can go back and look and see. It'd take me an hour to explain it right now. So I'm going to let this keep going, guys. We'll get back at you. Hopefully this will finish out today and I can get this stuff filtered and dropped and remelted and get it sent home. Alright, so we'll be back at you, everybody. As you can see, this is the end of the second day. Not full days, probably 3-4 hours that I've been fiddling with this thing. And as you can see, that button to me hasn't changed any size, so I am fairly positive that it's locked out. Even though it looks like we're getting a reaction around it, nothing's happening. It is not changing size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to let this cool, and I'm going to end up having to in-quart this piece of gold. I'm going to have to test it and see about what carat gold it is, and go ahead and in-quart it. I said previously that I would go through that, but this series needs to be finished. I do have some in-quartation videos if you want to go back and look. I'm thinking we're almost 25 minutes into this video now. It will actually be another complete video and then a video of the melt and the drop. if I do an inquartation video now on this. Evidently, like I said, we have got a lockout, so there's nothing else I can do with this piece. It is not going to finish dissolving. So I will go ahead and go through that process. I will start the next video. I'm actually going to call this video now, because I actually really thought this was going to be the last video for this series, but it's obviously not. So I am going to go ahead and call this video, and we will start the next video with dropping that little bit of gold there. That was from the test, so we can finish out and see what we've got going from the test. We'll do that while I'm inquarting and dissolving this gold. So there's going to be a couple more processes. I am sorry that I'm not going to put it on camera, but I need to get this refined done. It is already way past due for being finished. I will see you guys in the next video. It's actually Christmas Day right now, and I can't believe they are working out back again. I don't know if you can hear him. But anyway, he's got his house up. I don't know if you can see that. But anyway, everybody have a Merry Christmas. Have a great New Year, and we will see you all in the next video.